worldwide attention fixed on Oklahoma State Penitentiary. We are one of a handful of states pushing ahead with state-funded execution for convicted murderers. Capital punishment has come under fire recently as lethal injection drugs became unavailable, opening the door for last-minute legal maneuvering and reigniting the discussion on cruel and unusual punishment. There are 49 inmates on Oklahoma's death row. 44 of them are housed here at Oklahoma State Penitentiary. The execution chamber is also inside these walls. Interviews with death row inmates are rare, as much of the execution process and their lives on the inside are still secret. In Oklahoma, death row is halfway underground, a metaphor really for the inmates who come here to live and to die. According to the Department of Corrections, the average execution age is 38 years old. Most prisoners will be housed here 12 years before their time is up. Richard Glossip has lived on H Unit 17 years. His execution date was delayed twice and is expected sometime this year. We speak through bars and glass. His words pass through a metal grate.
It's just like you're in a tomb and you're just waiting to die so they can finish it off.
Glossip's tomb was sealed shut by 2 juries following the brutal murder of Barry Van Treese. It was 1997. Van Treese was the owner of the Best Budget Inn in Oklahoma City. The motel handyman bludgeoned him to death while he slept in room 102. The state first arrested the young handyman, Justin Sneed, and then went after Glossip, alleging a case of murder for hire.
My daughter begged him not to go that day. So she was 7.
The murderers left Barry Van Treese's 7 children fatherless. His wife, Donna Van Treese, a widow, the single mom of 5 young kids.
Toughest job I ever had was how do you tell your kids that they're never going to see their dad again?
18 years since the day she lost her husband, and Donna Van Treese is ready for his killer to die. She is unconcerned about a dignified or merciful death.
Would I wish a cruel death on anyone? No. I'm hoping that it's quick and that as long as it's quick.
Justin, you're how old? 19.
This is a never-before-seen videotaped interrogation of the confessed killer, Justin Sneed.
I don't think it's just you. I think there are more people involved, and you can straighten out a lot of things, and I just don't think you should take the whole thing.
Sneed was the state's star witness and really the only proof Glossip was involved at all. Both sides agreed, no question. Richard Glossip wasn't even in the room when Barry Van Treese was murdered. Prosecutors said in court, hiring out the murder was worse, paying for a man's death without even having to bother to carry it out.
Is it all your idea, the whole thing? No, sir. Well, okay, tell me. You need to tell us about it.
Justin Sneed was spared his life. He got a life sentence in exchange for his testimony against Richard Glossip.
We say now that we're going to reserve the death penalty for the worst killers or the worst killings, and it's clear in this instance that Mr. Glossip did not have the capability of taking another life. And it seems bizarre that the person who did got a life sentence. The Constitution forbids cruel and unusual punishment, and the Supreme Court has expressed that we will not execute people cruelly, will not torture them to death. It goes against American values. And Oklahoma certainly has not persuaded me that we've prevented that.
The Oklahoma Death Chamber has a fresh coat of paint now, an updated protocol, and a to-do list 49 inmates long. A few doors down, Glossip, steadfastly declaring his innocence, says they pinned this crime on the wrong man.
Has there ever been a time that you have admitted your guilt in this case?
I don't have no guilt in this case. After the fact, I made some really stupid decisions. I'm not saying I didn't. But if stupid's a crime, I'm guilty of being stupid. But I've sure paid my price for that.
Some wonder if his moral compass is significantly crooked enough to die for this crime.
The dying part don't bother me. Everybody dies. But I want people to know that I didn't kill this man. I didn't participate. I didn't plan or anything to do with this crime.
Without a doubt in my mind, they have who Who was responsible for masterminding it? Who was responsible for covering it up afterwards? Who was responsible for the actual crime?
The U.S. Supreme Court will soon weigh in on Oklahoma's death cocktail. Does it serve up sufficient portions of mercy and justice? Legal delays brought Richard Glossip one more Christmas than he expected, 18 more Christmases than Barry Ventries. Allie Meyer, News Channel 4.